Universal health care is a hot topic in American politics and American economics because many people feel that it isn't something that the U.S. can achieve due to the way our financial system works and the way capitalism is involved in our lives, and that you have to pay your own way in a lot of ways. But contrary to belief, it's possible to have universal health care in the U.S. without causing people to have to pay an enormous amounts in taxes. Many countries already have universal health care. Look at Europe, look at Canada, and they've all done this while cutting costs. Stanford did a whole paper about it, and they talked about how Germany, Great Britain, and even Canada, they were able to provide universal health care for everybody through a federally funded program that helped lower the costs of drugs and lower and keep the costs of hospital visits down through government money. So the government was able to intervene and say, we'll pay for this, we'll pay for that, we'll pay for your medicine, we'll pay for your treatment, all through funding through the people, through taxes, which we already pay into through the Medicaid that we pay for, which is basically healthcare for those who can't afford it. Now, if we were able to expand on that, we would be able to widen the coverage that everybody could be able to receive from. And many people feel that, oh, well, I don't want to pay for that for somebody else, but you already are. You're out of your check every 2 weeks that you get or every week that you get. Part of that is going to paying for somebody else's health care already, and it's a system we have in place now. But the system isn't as broad as it should be. Now, one way that we can add funding if we needed to would be to cut money from the GDP, mainly from the defense budget, which many people don't want to hear, but that is the most grossly overspent budget that we have. We outspend every other country by a very, very significant amount. If we took some money, and I'm not saying take half of it away, take three-quarters of it away, take maybe 100 billion out. That's it. That's all you have to do out of the 753 billion that we spend. And we can use that to fund more programs and help the government afford to be able to help us pay for our medicine, pay for our treatments. This can help cut costs, and it can help us not have to raise taxes for everybody. And to the next point about taxes, we don't need to raise taxes for everybody in order to fund this. We simply, part of the problem is that people who make over about 130,000 a year stop paying into Medicaid and stop paying into these government programs that are put in place to help the less fortunate that can't provide themselves with their own health care because it's not affordable. And that's where Medicaid comes in, but Medicaid does not cover everything. So, if we have people who are making much larger amounts of money than the average United States citizen, which is around 130,000, where they stop paying into it, if we have those people continue to put in money and help fund the program, we can help put billions of dollars extra into what most of us are already paying for. Now, when you hear taxes, everyone thinks, oh, well, my taxes are going to raise. With this system, no, it wouldn't. Because A, we're taking some money from parts of our government that we spend a lot more in that we don't need to spend as much in, and where we can cut costs through not exempting people from the taxes that they've been not paying for, because we have rules in place that say, oh, you don't need to pay for it if you're making this much money already. Now, it's not easy, and it would take time, but you could work to improve the system over time and find another way that works better over time. And we can cut costs by this, take money from this. We're spending too much money on this. Part of the biggest issue is that we spend too much money on other places when we could be spending it on universal health care for everybody in the country, and it would make people's lives better. It would help people be able to get treatment for if they're sick, and it would help raise the overall health of the country, which is obviously a massive benefit. And we've seen from other countries, mainly Europe, Germany, and Canada, that you can have universal health care without absolutely making people pay way more in taxes and without putting so much cost on the people for their own program.